Will AMD break this $100 price level? Because this morning, May 10, it was so close. This red line is right at the 100 price level. And so to answer this question, we're going to first analyze the unusual options activity we detected today on AMD. And then second, we're going to show how we are trading AMD because of this. So without further ado, let's get right to it. These unusual options we saw that were very significant just happened actually 30 minutes ago at 11:31 and also 11:44. You'll see here these were for the same strikes at the 95 strike puts and the 105 strike calls for the June 16s here. And you'll see that when we add this up, this is about 5,300 contracts in total. And so let's get right to the options chain to take a look at what this means. June 16th, about 37 days away. And here we are. The 95 strikes are over here. You'll see that the volume is greater than the open interest. And you'll also see here at the 105 calls, the volume here is not necessarily bigger than the open interest. So these could be closing orders. And so that's something to keep in mind. Even this 95 strike could be a closing order because it had originally 8,000 open orders. And since we saw that it was a total of 5,500, it would still be less than the open interest. So they could also be closing orders. So we are proceeding with some caution with this trade because they may not necessarily be open orders. If they were open orders, we think they had sold the 105 calls and bought the 95 strike puts. And so if we analyze this, this is a bearish trade. You'll see AMD at this current price of 98. If it goes down in price on the x-axis, this profit line will rise above the zero profit on the y-axis here. So this is a short position, and you can see also from the negative delta here. So because we are going to proceed with caution, we did a different type of trade. And so let's get into our trade. The trade we did was that we did also had bought the 95 strike puts. However, what we did was we sold the 19 May, 9 days away. We sold the 95 strike puts. You'll see that here. You also see that actually the volume is greater than the open interest for this. So we sold this, and what we did was we created a calendar spread. And so when we analyze this trade, this is what it looks like. So we like this trade. It has a positive theta. So we also like the positive vega, because if it does drop, volatility will increase. And since the volatility on AMD right now is not that high, it's the current IV percentile is at 11%, implied volatility at 48%. So there's some room for volatility in Vega to increase, and if it does, it will benefit this trade. And at expiration, which is the first expiration is going to be May 19th. So at expiration, this is going to be our break even. It's actually, you'll see here, right here is our break even, $100. So you'll see that 100 like 0.27. And so if it goes above $100, which would be a positive bullish signal, then we would then cut our trade off without taking much loss at this. So for example, at let's create an alert at the 127. If it goes above that, we can be reminded to close this trade. And so that is how we're going to be trading this. You'll also see that if it does drop for this trade, if it does drop below 90.5, it will also be a loss. Otherwise, if it stays between 900 to 100 in just 9 days, this will be very profitable here for us. Above the zero line, all of this will be profitable because as the time passes, that theta will increase, and you'll see that purple line increase to gain more profits, and eventually becomes that expiring line, which is the blue line. And so that is how we're trading it. We expect AMD to not go below this 90 here, and that it should trade in this range for the next just 9 days. So not too long. And so yeah, that's our analysis on AMD and the unusual options activity today and our trade. Please smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment below on what you think, whether or not AMD will break 100. All right, thanks so much. Take care, everybody.